The two truths in Buddhism, conventional and ultimate, explained with deep insight, Abhidhamma wisdom. In a world full of labels, names, and identities, have you ever paused to ask, what is truly real? Who are we beneath all these roles we play? What if there is a deeper layer of reality, invisible to the ordinary eye, but seen clearly by the awakened mind? Welcome, dear seekers of truth, to a journey into the heart of Buddhist wisdom, where reality is understood not through one truth, but through two, the conventional and the ultimate. These are not just philosophical ideas, but living insights that can lead us beyond suffering. Based on the timeless teachings of the Buddha and the deep analysis of the Abhidhamma, let us now explore the two truths and learn how seeing both clearly can transform how we live, think, and ultimately how we awaken. Chapter 1. The Foundation of Two Truths, a Doorway into Understanding. In the profound teachings of the Buddha, reality is not viewed through a single lens. Rather, it is seen through two layers of truth: conventional truth, Sammuti Sacca, and ultimate truth, Paramattha Sacca. These truths are not in conflict. They function harmoniously to help beings understand the world, escape delusion, and attain liberation. Conventional truth is how the world appears to ordinary perception: people, animals, countries, names, time. It is the language of communication and interaction. Ultimate truth, on the other hand, reveals the true nature of phenomena, the momentary arising and passing of nama, mind and mental factors, and rupa, material phenomena, without any enduring self or soul. The two truths are like two lenses through which one sees. The first lens helps us navigate life skillfully, and the second cuts through illusion to see things as they truly are. This distinction between the conventional and the ultimate is not philosophical speculation, but a method to free the mind from suffering. The Abhidhamma, the analytical heart of Theravāda Buddhism, lays the groundwork for clearly distinguishing between these levels of truth. It teaches that ignorance, avidya, clings to conventions, while wisdom, panna, penetrates the ultimate. Thus, to truly understand the nature of life, one must begin by recognizing the difference between these two forms of reality. Chapter 2. Conventional Truth, the Necessary Illusion. Conventional truth is the everyday way we speak and think. It includes labels like man, woman, tree, river, sunrise, I, you, past, and future. These designations are useful, even necessary, for communication and functioning in society. However, according to the Abhidhamma, they do not represent what actually exists in the deepest sense. The word chariot, for example, is a label we give to a collection of parts: wheels, axles, frame. Remove the parts, and the chariot disappears. Similarly, self is a label we give to a process of 5 aggregates: form, feeling, perception, volitional formations, and consciousness. The Buddha taught using these conventions, not because they are ultimately real, but because they are skillful tools. Like a raft used to cross a river, once they serve their purpose, one must be ready to let go. If one clings to conventional truth as if it were final, the mind remains bound by sakkaya ditthi, the false view of self. Thus, while conventional truth is not false in a functional sense, it is deceptive when misunderstood as absolute. In daily life, we cannot avoid using conventional truths. A doctor must diagnose a patient. A teacher must guide a student. A parent must care for a child. These roles are not rejected in the Dhamma. Rather, one must see them with the wisdom that understands their impermanence and emptiness. As the Visuddhimagga says, there is no doer of a deed, but only the deed is found. Chapter 3. Ultimate Truth. Seeing with the Eye of Wisdom. Ultimate truth points to what truly exists, not in imagination or social agreement, but in actual experience. According to the Abhidhamma, there are only ultimate realities, Paramattha Dhammas, which fall into 4 categories: consciousness, citta, mental factors, cetasika, matter, rupa, and nibbana. These are not abstract concepts, but realities that can be directly experienced through meditative insight. Ultimate truth is free from labels. There is no person who thinks, only moments of consciousness arising and passing. There is no body walking, only the movement of rupa conditioned by intention. There is no soul that suffers, only mental formations reacting to contact. The ultimate reality is impersonal, conditioned, and momentary. Everything arises due to causes and conditions. This is the law of paticca samuppada, dependent origination. By training the mind through vipassana, insight meditation, one begins to observe these ultimate truths directly. The body dissolves into sensations. The mind is seen as a stream of thoughts and reactions. As insight deepens, the delusion of permanence, satisfaction, and selfhood begins to fall away. This is the door to liberation. Ultimate truth, then, is not just a concept, but a living, transformative vision of reality that leads to the end of suffering. Chapter 4. 2 Truths in Harmony. The Path to Awakening. Many misunderstand the 2 truths as contradictory. Some ask, if the self is not real, then who is practicing? The answer lies in harmony, the ability to use conventional truth skillfully while seeing ultimate truth clearly. Like a doctor who knows the disease is not the person but treats the patient anyway, the wise practitioner moves through the world with compassion and clarity. The Buddha himself taught using conventional terms. He referred to I and you, to bhikkhus and beings. Yet his wisdom was rooted in the ultimate truth. This is not a contradiction. It is the mark of skillful means. When teaching, the Buddha would say, "Monks, you should train yourselves." Yet the training was to see that there is no unchanging self behind these words, only a process arising and ceasing. The 2 truths work like 2 wings of a bird. One wing cannot fly alone. Conventional truth gives structure to life and Dhamma practice. Ultimate truth offers the insight to transcend it. A wise person does not reject one or cling to the other. Instead, they walk the middle path, using both truths as stepping stones toward Nibbana. Chapter 5. The Vehicle Analogy. Understanding through Everyday Life. To illustrate the 2 truths, consider the example of a vehicle. A vehicle such as a car or train is a conventional designation. What is a car? Remove the wheels, engine, and frame. Does the car still exist? No. The label car is merely a mental construct imposed on a collection of parts. This is conventional truth, useful for direction, but not ultimately real. Now consider those parts individually. The wheel, the bolt, the tire. Each is made of smaller components, down to atoms and beyond. Even these break down into mere rupa, material elements, in Abhidhamma analysis. And these rupas arise and fall away moment by moment, dependent on conditions. This is ultimate truth. There is no true thing, only a process. Similarly, the self is a conventional vehicle. It helps navigate life. We use I and you to communicate. But upon ultimate analysis, the self is just a collection of impermanent processes: consciousness, perception, volition, feeling, and form. The vehicle appears real only when the parts are falsely unified by delusion. The path of wisdom in Buddhism is to understand this deeply, to use the vehicle, but not be fooled by it. Just as one rides a car to reach a destination and then gets out, the wise use conventional truth to live and practice, but step out of it when they reach insight. In the end, all that is needed is the clear seeing that liberates. Chapter 6. Beyond both, the realization that frees the heart. The wise use conventional truth to speak, ultimate truth to see, and neither to cling. There comes a point on the spiritual path when even the most refined truths must be let go. Even the two truths, so essential for understanding, become objects of non-clinging. Why? Because liberation lies not in clinging to truth, but in freedom from all grasping, even grasping at wisdom. The ultimate aim of the Buddha's teaching is not intellectual knowledge, but direct realization. It is not about having the right views. It's about freeing the heart. And that freedom lies beyond concepts, beyond names, beyond categories. At the peak of insight, a noble disciple sees that both conventional truth and ultimate truth are still part of conditioned understanding. Even the distinction between self and not self fades in the light of nibbana, the unconditioned, the unborn, the deathless. The Abhidhamma guides the mind to see reality with razor-sharp clarity, but the final leap is beyond even this. Nibbana is not a Dhamma among Dhammas. It is the cessation of all that is conditioned, the silence beyond the noise, the freedom beyond identity, the peace beyond knowledge. This is the true liberation, not merely understanding that there is no self, but being free from the craving to be someone at all. Not just seeing the world as impermanent, but no longer fearing change. Not only knowing that suffering arises and ceases, but resting in the cessation itself. Therefore, the wise use conventional truth with compassion. They see ultimate truth with insight, and ultimately, they cling to neither. This is the freedom the Buddha spoke of: a heart unbound, a mind unshaken, a being that is no longer becoming. Beyond both truths lies that which words cannot touch. It is seen only with the inner eye, felt only in the stillness of a liberated heart. This is the final letting go. This is the end of the path. Dear listener, reality is not a fixed story. It is a living flow, seen differently through two lenses. The conventional helps us walk in the world. The ultimate helps us wake from it. Through wisdom, we learn to speak in the language of convention, but see with the eye of truth. We learn to act with love, but let go with clarity. This is the way of the Buddha. This is the path to liberation. May this teaching help you step beyond illusion. May your heart know peace. May you too walk the middle way, gently, wisely, and free. Until next time, walk with mindfulness and wisdom. Namo Buddhaya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.